name is Anushka Sinha. India gained independence in 1947 from the British rule, but even today there are several biases and prejudices that we find ourselves fighting for. Casteism is one of the major problems that we have not overcome yet. Casteism can be seen in India on a daily basis. Villages are segregated on basis of caste, and they may not cross the line dividing them from the higher caste. The lower caste is denied access to temples and several basic facilities such as using the same drinking well as higher caste or tea stalls, education, medical facilities, etc. They are only restricted to certain occupations like cleaning streets, sanitation workers, plantation workers, and do not get employed in any of the good companies. Though the government had taken several steps to eliminate casteism, such as abolishing untouchability, yet the problem still lies in the society, in minds of people. Due to this, India often finds itself highlighted in news for caste-based riots in which several hundreds of people die and many are injured. Only the people themselves can eliminate this difference. Thank you.
Even after 74 years of independence, one thing which pinches us is the seeing people blindly following their religions, ideologies and rituals. We all have come across the ones who are blind supporters of any sacred personality, whether gurus, monks, sons and many more, who just make fool of them and earn their well-being and a good life. We normal people just do whatever they say, whatever it would be, whether to feed a cow against the promise that your ward will succeed in life, or to donate to that guru with open hearts for the happiness of the family. I personally felt that we are getting treated from past many decades since the foundation of religion have been laid in the name of God. Many people I have seen don't even want to question this just because they thought this would go against their religion and God. My personal thinking, or what I observed, or what I think to question about that, whatever be the scenario, do we really need all these fake so-called messengers of God to puppet us in the name of religion?
Something I would like to change about my country will be thinking about everyone, thinking of everyone about gender equality. Everyone has their own perspective of taking this topic. So mine is yesterday. I would like to start with an example. Yesterday I was watching Gunjan Saxena. It was about a pilot, first women pilot who served in Kargil war. She faced so many struggles in her life, but still there are some people nowadays who are making controversial statements about the movie just because they showed the reality about army, how they treated a girl in that scenario where she was the only girl. So yeah, I would like to say that it was true. It's not like they were wrong, but it was true. She was the first girl, so she was at every point she has to prove herself that she was the better person than him. In the last, it took almost a year, or I don't know, from starting it took her many years to just prove that she is the one. People have this thinking, they are not evolving about this fact that girl child can do much better things. Yesterday I was having a group discussion with my parents. They also in a certain way have that perception that girls are weak. In a certain manner they are weak, they are physically not that strong, though they have daughters. We are two daughters, and still a certain point they feel that we are not that physically strong, we are not mentally strong, we can be broken down in a certain way very very easily. So ma'am, it's not like that. I'm not I'm not blaming them for this. It's about everyone nowadays. Maybe in future people will start accepting the fact that it's not about always physically strong or mentally strong. Pregnancy, which is called the most torturous thing in a certain way, is something women goes with it. The pain they feel is 1,000 times more than man feel, and still they start commenting on it, making controversial statements about it. women empowerment doesn't only mean that there's a gender equality in giving equal chances. Still, ma'am, in our class only, Pratyaksh and Pratyush have many times spoken about women empowerment, that they believe people that nowadays feminism is used in certain ways. I agree, but ma'am, still in many rural areas there's no equality. Even if I talk about my village, there is no equality. Girls are still treated in that way. We are only protesting about that things that everyone, not in the urban areas, but in rural areas, in every part of the country, at least they should get equal chances. They should be treated equally. Girls also deserve respect. They are also physically and mentally strong. You should not treat them like this. So this thinking is something that constantly hits me when I speak about it. Thank you.
Topic for today is that a regional language or Hindi should replace English in most of the elementary schools in India. Ma'am, every year on 14th of September, people celebrate Hindi Divas with gusto all around the world, and even in mostly in India and also in other countries abroad. Hindi Divas is celebrated and people sing songs in Hindi, poems are recited, and we try to bring Hindi to the level of English for a particular day, just for a single day. And from the next day, all those influential people who were celebrating Hindi Divas are now again ready to send their children back to the English medium schools. Ma'am, what is the problem with our country is that we are not very bound to our own customs and traditions. That is all because of the 200 years of British Raj that we have had in our country. Ma'am, all the influential countries in Asia who want to keep their identity rich and identity as an individual country, they want to maintain that identity, are following their own language. And some examples are Japan, China. Like in Japan, if you don't know Japanese, you can't even try to do a particular job. Now, not even of a security guard or not even of a shop attendant, like nothing. If you don't know Japanese, you won't be able to do any job. But in India, what people believe is that someone who speaks English, wears a particular type of clothes, who wears suit and a pant, is a very educated person, and someone who wears a kurta and speaks in Hindi seems to be someone who is not that educated and is often quoted as desi. Now, what I am saying is not against English. English is a global language. It connects people around the globe. But ma'am, what my point over here is that English is something which is from some other country. So if they are following it, then why we are the ones who are also following it blindly? We should be bound to our own languages and our own customs, because if we don't protect them, our identity as an individual nation would also die with our language.
Thank you.
Today, I, Siddhant Anand, is going to talk on the topic how to remove poverty from India. We can define poverty as the condition where the basic needs of a family like food, shelter, clothing and education are not fulfilled. It can lead to other problems like poor literacy, unemployment, malnutrition, etc. A poor person is not able to get education due to lack of money and therefore remains unemployed. An unemployed person is not able to buy enough and nutritious food for his family and their health decline. A weak person lacks the energy required to job. A jobless person remains poor. Thus, we can say that poverty is the root cause of other problems. So at the conclusion, I want to say that there should be no discrimination in the society. All persons have equal rights to get education. So in India, we should remove this caste system and all the people have equal rights to education. Thank you.
India has been a land of rich cultures, and what comes with it are a ton of superstitions and taboos. What I believe is we should try and overcome all kinds of social taboos, and one of them is talking about menstruation. the whole talk around menstruation is a hush-hush topic, not to be discussed in public. Statistically, at least 71% of girls in India do not know anything about menstruation before their first period. With a female population of 49.6%, something as inescapable as a period is the least talked about phenomena in the country. The statistics are known, but there are stories of girls dropping out of schools in semi-urban and rural areas once they start menstruating. This is not only driven by a lack of appropriate sanitation facilities in schools, but in a lot of places they are forced to drop out of schools and get married because they've now become women. The process is so natural that a skipped period often makes women wonder whether they have any abnormality. We've all made periods a topic that needs to be whispered and talked only within the female population. But what is it about periods that a man can't hear? Periods are natural. Let's not make it a taboo, let's make it casual.